The Bengals get a win. They're red hot now. They've been playing as well as anyone in the NFL. But what is that? I feel like I hear a distant sound coming from Western New York.
Oh.
RC, what is that sound I'm hearing?
Retool it, start it over, this year's over.
Window shut.
The Buffalo Bills window is shut this year. And he should shut it because if you're in Western New York, it's finna be cold as hell anyway.
That's right.
When you think about this team and the way that this season started and you looked at this roster, it's just not the same roster. And it's no disrespect to Sean McDermott, no disrespect to Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. But when you become what they've become defensively, when you struggle to score points offensively, because so many times the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've looked at the final score for the Buffalo Bills and the way that they've eked out points late, but they haven't been able to score, and they don't have a defense right now that could create stops. When the last drive started, the first thing that the Cincinnati Bengals do is throw a deep post corner to Tyler Boyd. You know why? Because you have no fear. You have no fear that you can't protect. You have no fear that there's someone on the outside that can lock up man to man. And when you get rid of Leslie Frazier, or when Leslie Frazier takes a break and Sean McDermott takes over, he takes over thinking he's going to have Tre'Davious White. He takes over thinking he's going to have Matt Milano. You give Tremaine Edmonds leaves in free agency. You don't have those dogs anymore. And offensively right now, when you can't run the football, and you're saying, Josh Allen, go be everything. But yet you know, when you ask him to go be everything, he is going to make mistakes. You're putting your team in a situation where you cannot compete with the elite, and that's what we're seeing from the Buffalo Bills.
Well, this quarterback can compete with anybody. All right, there's no question about that. We all recognize that. So is the window closing? This year, you're right. RC, you talk about that defense. Well, let's look at it statistically. In 2021, they were number 1 in the league. Last year, 7th. All right? Get rid of Leslie Frazier, leave of absence. I don't understand that one.
Right.
But now they're 18th. I don't need to hear about Tre'Davious White. He wasn't there last year either. Okay? Injuries happen in this game. But you certainly can't overcome, Milano going down or whatever. This team's not. They're 18th.
Yeah.
That ain't going to get it done. When Kansas City's better on defense,
yes.
When all these teams are getting better, Baltimore's better on defense, you don't have the defense.
So let's say this. When you've got Josh Allen, 15 years, your windows are going to open and close. By no means is he done, but they may have to retool this iteration of them around him. That said, let's talk about the other quarterback last night. What are we seeing right now in Joe Burrow and the Bengals?
He's the second best quarterback in the NFL, and I grapple with this between him and Lamar because I think Lamar's impact on his football team
is huge.
Is probably more valuable than anybody's in the league, outside of Pat, obviously. But Burrow is healthy, and we all knew it was coming. We all knew once this calf could really carry the full brunt of playing a position at a very high level. You see the scrambling ability. Sometimes we forget that Joe Burrow is an athletic quarterback as well. Right. Not deemed dual threat, but he can get out of harm's way. A week ago, he converted some big third down conversions with his legs. But I'll tell you this, is what RC said at the beginning. Man, he ain't gonna blink, bro. We've been saying this since LSU. Remember when we sat there and smoked cigars? Yeah. He will not blink. When Joe Burrow got the ball back against Buffalo, there was no doubt in his mind that Buffalo wasn't getting the ball back. He knew it, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win a football game. It don't matter what happens. He's going to do what he takes.
Yeah. You said that in our meeting today.
Like, that's what I love about Joe Burrow. Whether I got 5 yards or 500 yards, I'm going to make the right play every single time. If I got to throw it 2 yards, I'll do that. If I have to throw it behind the line of scrimmage, I'll do that. If I have to just rush outside of the pocket so we don't take a loss. There's a play last night where there's a rusher that comes free. He just throws the football away. And you hear Chris Collinsworth say, those are the sorts of plays that don't show up on the stat sheet, and they don't. It's because he doesn't take a loss. It's because I'm not worried about necessarily getting all the glory. And what we saw last night was 348 yards. One of the best wide receivers in the entire world only has 41 because the Buffalo Bills decided we're going to take him away. That's all right. You bring Rasul Douglas in, you're going to sit him on that other side with T. Higgins. Well, I'm going to eat your face up the entire night. And that's what I love about Joe Burrow.
Rex, who did you tell me this morning he reminds you of?
Oh, gosh. I mean, flashbacks, man. I mean, it's Tom Brady. And everything about him, the decision-making that he makes on the field, the calmness, the poise. He never out of a game, and he knows how to put you away. The other thing is how he's done the locker room. Arguably, like when you talk about the impact that Lamar Jackson has on his football team, Yeah, no bigger impact than Joe Burrow, because I can assure you the day he got drafted, that team stunk. Yeah. They absolutely stunk for years and years. He came in there, changed the entire organization.
And also, too, look at this. What's the difference between Joe Burrow's press conferences when they're 0-2 and he can barely walk as compared to last night?
Yeah.
Zero. 100% poise, composure, focus on winning the next football game because the last one is over. So Travis Kelce is no longer the explosive threat he used to be. He's a number one. He's a security blanket. He's a guy that can catch you in volumes. He no longer scares you down the field.
Right.
And so now that you don't have that from him and in that position, who else is going to bring it? And right now they cannot find that explosivity with the quarterback who is ultimately talented.
And yet they continue to win games, so we'll worry about them a little less. But Rex, I gave you the number a moment ago. The Dolphins are 0-3 against teams with a winning record. Some people will say they're a quote-unquote fraud. What do you say?
I say they better play at home, because here's the difference, all right? The way that, and it's their motion. It's not just that home field with the like I always say, is the biggest in the league advantage, but it's their motion doesn't time up. Here's a stat for you. They average 43.5 points a game at home. They're 4-0. On the road, they're 2-3. They average 22 points a game.
Explain why specifically that is with this offense.
Because all that fancy motion where they're basically going, they're trying to time it where you got Tyreek Hill going full speed towards the line of scrimmage. You can't do that on the road because of the crowd noise. It doesn't play out. So they better find a way of doing it right here.
And also, too, if you look at that motion, the teams that have beat them, the 3 teams that have won, they don't react to it. Right? They all play cover 2. If you see, they're just expanding in the zones, not reacting to it. And what you have to have when you get behind, right? They've been behind 3 times. You have to have a quarterback that's not only willing to extend plays, but can. When things can't be on time, when you can't take the first read, when you can no longer take what the defense gives you because you have to go take something from the defense, Tua Tagovailoa cannot do that right now, and that's why they struggle.
But, RC, the motion is way different on the road than it is at home because you don't have it. People have got to even up to balance it up, or you're going to get a illegal motion.
What I've been saying about the Miami Dolphins, and maybe contextually it's been wrong, but I've always talked about Tua after his first read. And really what I'm getting at is we know that in the league today offensively, to be explosive consistently, your quarterback got to be able to move when the situation calls for it. Tua is phenomenal from the pocket. He has nothing outside of that right now.
Extend plays.
So that's one game. The next one in Houston, C.J. Stroud is him. He threw for a rookie record 470 yards yesterday, 5 touchdown passes, and the game winner with 6 seconds remaining. Rex, talk to me about this rookie.
Yeah, one of the baddest dudes I've ever seen as a rookie. Joe Burrow never did this as a rookie. Like, this is unbelievable. Uncharted waters that we see this rookie quarterback. He clearly, that's why he was taken with the first overall pick, head and shoulders, right? Oh, that's right. He's head and shoulders above a guy in a size speed league. What the hell are you doing taking somebody over this guy? I don't get it. He clearly was the best guy. And
show me tape.
Yeah, so what I loved about C.J. Stroud was getting the football, and those first few passes of the last drive, you kind of get those because they're playing soft defensively. Once you cross the 50, this is where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wanted to stiffen. You're going to get a China 7 here versus a cover 2. Now, you're going to see he's going to attack McCollum. He's going to attack Delaney on the back end. Watch his eyes straight down the middle of the field, so now you can hold the safety close to the hash mark. And as Tank Dell pushes up the field, watch how this ball fits right behind the corner, right in front of the safety on the sideline. Tank Dell drags the foot. Now, you're going to get double post from an empty trips here. And what you're going to get is you're going to see C.J. Stroud is going to start away from the post. And now the safety, Delaney, has to be inside of Brown on the first inside post. And you have Colton Davis outside. Right away, he goes to him, gets the football to Tank Dell. It's not just the accuracy. It's not the poise. It's not him understanding where to go with the football. It's having it all at one time.
Listen, so, I'm sorry.
Now, I'm saying so many times you're missing one thing. Right now, C.J. Stroud is showing it all as a young rookie.
Go ahead, I want you to read something. Last night when we was in the group chat, look at that blue right there.
C.J. Stroud about to walk the dog. Watch.
I sent it to RC that we always, on these football Sundays, one of my favorite times, we all in the group chat and we talking, watching these games and watching them play out. It's a rookie quarterback in Houston with 47 seconds left on the clock. And my mind and our minds went to, he about to score and win the game.
Yeah.
In what world?
Yep.
Right.
In what world do you think that about a guy starting his 9th career game in the NFL? It's because of what he's done all season.
And the context, too, that y'all have to remember, they don't have a kicker. A backup running back is kicking the entire second half. So it was C.J. Stroud and offense the entire half. And also, too, he made a kick.
Yeah, this happened.
He actually made a kick. D'Amico Ryan smiled, and I said to myself, well, hell, they gonna win. Is he making kicks?
If this game was played by the Cowboys and Eagles, we'd be making a 30 for 30 about it. That was the best game of the NFL
play well
season.
too.
But you know what? But if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. If I have a China 7 against your cover 2, I'm in trouble. But if you've got the double post against my empty trips, I've got you dead right.
Against quarters.
I've said it 100 times. Atlanta yesterday, Josh Dobbs rallying the Vikings past the Falcons 5 days after being acquired in a trade. He did not know the names of his teammates. He took a combined total of 0 reps with the first team in practice this week. He played basically the entire game and won it. Josh Dobbs, in a weird way, has become my favorite player in the NFL.
Joshua Dobbs is showing people right now I should play in this league for 2 decades until I want to go fly rockets. Right? Because what he was able to do with, like, what you want from a backup quarterback is the least amount of reps you can still go out and perform if your number's called. He had the least amount possible. The only other thing was to show up that morning and to go on the field, to be on the sideline, teaching the offensive linemen your cadence, to not know their names, and to find a way to win this football game. It's purely instinct. It's purely just understanding how to play football. He was a little league quarterback.
Look at my man learning.
That's his first snap.
He's learning. That's his first snap ever in Minnesota.
I love to give him the game ball at the end, and all his teammates are like, who the hell's that guy? You know what I mean? Like, you got to be kidding me.
And you're coming in, and honestly, too, though, Kirk Cousins had become something for the Minnesota Vikings that was larger than just the quarterback position. And for Joshua Dobbs to do that, not expecting to play, truly is one of the largest feats of the 100%. Weekend.